The Galactic Council meeting. The space station was enormous. It floated in the darkness of space like a giant metal city. Thousands of lights blinked on its surface. Ships came and went every minute. This was the heart of the galaxy. This was where the most powerful beings met to make decisions. Inside the station, there was a massive hall. The ceiling was so high that clouds formed near the top. Giant pillars made of pure gold held the roof. Holographic screens floated everywhere, showing maps of different star systems. In the center of this hall there was a round table. It was made from a rare metal that glowed soft blue. Around this table sat 5 alien admirals. These were not ordinary aliens. These were the rulers of the 7 most powerful empires in the galaxy. Admiral Zorath sat in the largest chair. He was a reptilian creature. His skin was dark green with black scales. His eyes were yellow like fire. When he spoke, his voice was deep and terrifying. His empire had conquered over 2,000 planets. He had never lost a single battle in his 300 years of life. Next to him sat Admiral Vexis. She belonged to an insect race. Her body was covered with a hard black shell. She had 4 arms and 2 large red eyes. Her species was known for their intelligence. They built the most advanced computers in the galaxy. Admiral Krell was the biggest one at the table. He was a rock creature. His body was made of living stone. He stood 12 feet tall. When he walked, the floor shook. His people were the strongest warriors anyone had ever seen. Admiral Nexus was the oldest. His species had lived for millions of years. His body was thin and grey. His eyes were completely white. He rarely spoke, but when he did, everyone listened. He knew secrets that others could not imagine. The 5th Admiral was Admiral Thrax. He had blue skin and silver hair. His species was beautiful but deadly. They were masters of manipulation and politics. These 5 admirals controlled everything. For 10,000 years, their empires ruled the galaxy. They decided who lived and who died. They decided which planets would prosper and which would burn. No one dared to challenge them. No one was strong enough. Today, they had gathered for a special meeting. A message had arrived 3 days ago. It came from a small planet at the edge of the galaxy. A planet called Earth. A species called humans. Admiral Zorath held a small device in his clawed hand. He pressed a button. A hologram appeared above the table. It showed a blue and green planet. Small. Simple. Unremarkable. "This," Zorath said with a mocking smile, "is the planet that sent us a message." The other admirals looked at the tiny planet. Some of them laughed quietly. "They want to join the Galactic Council," Zorath continued. "They say they are a spacefaring civilization now." Admiral Vexis made a clicking sound. It was her way of laughing. "How adorable," she said. "The insects think they are important." The admirals had no idea that their lives were about to change forever. The admiral's reaction. Admiral Zorath pressed another button on his device. A new hologram appeared. It showed 50 small ships floating in space. These ships were grey and simple. They looked like toys compared to alien warships. "This is their entire fleet," Zorath announced. His voice was full of mockery. 50 ships. 50 tiny, pathetic ships. Admiral Krell leaned forward. His stone body made a grinding sound. He looked at the human ships and shook his massive head. "These are not warships," he said. "These are garbage collectors." All the admirals laughed loudly. The sound echoed through the great hall. They laughed for a long time. Tears came from Admiral Thrax's silver eyes. Admiral Vexis hit the table with her 4 arms. "Their biggest ship," Vexis said between laughs, "is smaller than my personal shuttle." Admiral Zorath stood up from his chair. He walked around the table slowly. His tail dragged on the floor behind him. "We have 200 ships outside this station right now," he said. "Each one could destroy their entire fleet in minutes." "Why are we even discussing this?" Admiral Thrax asked. His blue face showed annoyance. "They are nobody. They have nothing. Send them away." Admiral Nexus remained silent. His white eyes stared at the hologram of Earth. Something bothered him. Something he could not explain. He had lived for thousands of years. He had seen many species rise and fall, but something about these humans felt different. "Perhaps," Nexus said softly, "we should learn more about them first." The other admirals stopped laughing. They looked at Nexus with confusion. "Learn about them?" Zorath asked. "What is there to learn? They are primitive creatures from a primitive planet. They discovered space travel only 100 years ago," Vexis added. "They are babies in this galaxy." Nexus closed his eyes for a moment. When he opened them, he spoke carefully. "I have studied their history. These humans, they are strange. They fight each other constantly. They have wars on their own planet, brother against brother, nation against nation." "That proves they are stupid," Krell said. "No," Nexus replied. "That proves they are dangerous. A species that fights itself and still survives, that species knows war better than anyone." Silence fell over the table. The admirals looked at each other. But then Zorath laughed again. "You are getting old, Nexus. Your mind is weak. These humans are nothing. I could crush their planet with one ship." He pressed another button. A message appeared on all the screens. "I have already sent my reply to them," Zorath said proudly. "I told them to come here. I told them to bring their little fleet. I want to see the fear in their eyes when they see our power." Admiral Thrax smiled. "That is cruel, Zorath. I like it." "When will they arrive?" Vexis asked. Zorath checked the time. "They should be here in—" A loud alarm suddenly filled the hall. Red lights flashed everywhere. The admirals jumped from their seats. Zorath grabbed his communicator. "What is happening?" he shouted. A nervous voice answered. "Admiral, the humans! They are here! They just appeared!" "What do you mean, appeared?" "They did not come through normal space routes. They just came out of nowhere, right next to our fleet." Zorath's yellow eyes narrowed. "Interesting. So they have some tricks. It does not matter. Tell our ships to surround them. Show them our strength." "Yes, Admiral." The hologram in the center of the room changed. Now it showed the space outside the station. 200 massive alien warships floated in formation, and near them, the 50 small human ships looked like insects next to giants. "Look at them," Thrax said. "They are so small. This is embarrassing." A new message appeared on the screen. The humans were requesting to speak. "Let them talk," Zorath said. "I want to hear them beg." The hologram flickered. A human face appeared. It was a man with dark hair and calm brown eyes. He wore a simple grey uniform. His face showed no fear, no worry, nothing. "I am Captain James Chen," the man said. "I represent the Human Alliance." Zorath stepped forward. "I am Admiral Zorath, ruler of the Zorath Empire, commander of 700 fleets, conqueror of 2,000 worlds." He waited for the human to look impressed, but James Chen's expression did not change. "I know who you are," James said simply. "Then you know you should be afraid." "Should I?" Zorath felt a small flash of anger. This human was not showing proper respect. "You come here with 50 ships," Zorath said slowly. "We have 200. Our ships are 20 times bigger than yours. Our weapons could turn your fleet to dust in seconds." "I understand," James replied, "and yet you do not seem worried." James Chen tilted his head slightly. A small smile appeared on his face. It was a strange smile, not nervous, not friendly. It was the smile of someone who knew something others did not. "Admiral Zorath," James said, "may I ask you a question?" "Speak." "When you look at our ships, what do you see?" Zorath laughed. "I see 50 pieces of garbage." "And that," James said softly, "is exactly what we wanted you to see." The smile on his face grew wider. Admiral Nexus felt a chill run through his ancient body. He had felt this feeling only a few times in his long life. It was the feeling of danger, real danger. "What do you mean?" Zorath demanded. James Chen did not answer immediately. He looked at something off-screen. Then he nodded to someone the Admirals could not see. "Admiral," James said, "I want to tell you a story, a short one, about my species. I do not want to hear stories. I want you to surrender. You will want to hear this one." Something in James's voice made Zorath stop. Even the other Admirals leaned forward. "Humans are young," James continued. "You are right about that. We have only been in space for 100 years. But we learned something very early. We learned that the galaxy is full of powerful empires, empires that would crush us without thinking." "Smart observation," Vexis said mockingly. "So we had a choice," James said. "We could build a big fleet and try to fight. But we would lose. We could hide on our planet and hope no one noticed us. But eventually, someone would come." "You should have chosen option 2, Thrax said. "Now you will die." James ignored him. "We chose a third option. We pretended to be weak. We built 50 small ships and showed them to everyone. We let the whole galaxy laugh at us." Admiral Nexus's white eyes widened. He understood now. He understood everything. "While you were laughing," James continued, "we were building, not near Earth, not anywhere you would look. We built in the dark spaces, in the empty places between stars, places where no one ever goes." "Built what?" Zorath asked. His voice was less confident now. "Our real fleet." The room became very quiet. Admiral Krell's stone body cracked slightly. Admiral Vexis's red eyes blinked rapidly. "You are bluffing," Zorath said. "Scanners would have detected—" "Your scanners see heat," James interrupted. "They see energy signatures. They see radiation. Our ships produce none of these things." "Impossible. Every ship produces heat. Human ships do not." James leaned closer to the screen. His calm eyes looked directly at Zorath. "We invented something new, something no other species has ever created. We call it cold fusion technology. Our engines run without heat. Our weapons charge without energy signatures. Our ships are completely invisible to every scanner in this galaxy." Admiral Nexus stood up. His thin body trembled. "Check our scanners," he ordered. "Now." Vexis quickly activated her console. Her 4 arms moved frantically over the controls. Then she stopped. Her black shell seemed to turn grey. "Admiral Zorath," she whispered. "The human ships, they are gone." "What?" "I cannot find them. They were there 1 second ago. Now they have vanished." Zorath turned back to the hologram. James Chen was still smiling. "Where are your ships?" Zorath demanded. "Everywhere." At that exact moment, the first explosion happened. Then another, then 10 more. Orange flames bloomed in space as alien warships began to die. Chaos filled the great hall. Alarms screamed. Warning lights flashed red and white. Admiral Zorath shouted orders into his communicator, but his voice was drowned by the sounds of destruction. On the hologram, the battle was a nightmare. Alien warships exploded one after another. The commanders screamed on the radio. "They are everywhere. I cannot see them. Something hit us. Where did it come from? We are dying. We are dying." 30 alien ships were destroyed in 3 minutes, then 40, then 50. The mighty alien fleet was being torn apart by enemies they could not see. Admiral Krell grabbed his weapon. "I will go out there myself. I will—" "Sit down," James Chen's voice cut through the noise. "If you leave this station, you will die in seconds." Krell froze. For the first time in his life, he felt fear. "How are you doing this?" Zorath screamed. "Show yourselves!" "As you wish." The space outside flickered. 50 human ships appeared suddenly. They were in perfect positions around the alien fleet. Every human ship had its weapons pointed at an alien ship. "You wanted to see us," James said. "Here we are." Vexis studied her scanner with trembling hands. Then she made a sound, a terrible sound of pure terror. "Admiral, these ships, their weapon power. What about it? Each human ship has the firepower of our 10 biggest battleships, combined." Nobody spoke. Nobody breathed. The truth was finally clear. The humans had never been weak. They had never been primitive. They had been waiting, planning, preparing. For 100 years, they had let the galaxy underestimate them. And now, the trap was complete. His voice was calm like still water. "I will give you one chance to surrender." Admiral Zorath's pride burned inside him. He had never surrendered. He had never bowed to anyone. His scales turned dark red with rage. "Surrender! Surrender! You think this is over, human? This is one station. We have thousands of fleets across the galaxy. We will burn your planet. We will kill every human alive. We will—" "Admiral!" James Chen's voice changed. It became cold, hard like ice. "You mentioned our planet, Earth. You said you would burn it. I will turn it to ashes." "Thank you for saying that." James pressed something on his console. The hologram changed. It showed 7 different planets, the homeworlds of the 7 alien empires. Above each planet floated human ships, not 50, not 100, thousands, tens of thousands. "While we were talking," James said, "our main fleet arrived at your home worlds, all 7 of them." The admirals stared at the hologram. Their eyes showed pure horror. 300,000 ships, James continued, each one invisible until now, each one armed with weapons that can crack a planet in half. Admiral Nexus collapsed into his chair. His ancient heart could barely beat. You planned this for decades," he whispered. "We planned this for 100 years, James replied. "Every step, every detail. We knew this day would come. We knew someone would threaten us, so we prepared." Admiral Thrax fell to his knees. His silver hair covered his face. "We laughed at you," he said. "We called you insects." "Yes, you did. We were the insects all along." James Chen nodded slowly. "You were, but we gave you a chance. We asked to join your council peacefully. You could have said yes. We would have been friends." "And now?" Zorath asked. His voice was weak. "Now you have 1 hour to surrender. All 7 empires. Complete surrender. And if we refuse?" James's eyes turned cold as death. "Then we will end you. Not defeat you, not conquer you. We will erase your species from history. Your planets will burn. Your people will disappear. Your names will be forgotten." He paused. "Humans have a saying, Admiral. We call it mutually assured destruction. It means we are willing to die if it means taking our enemies with us. We will never surrender. We will never give up. We will fight until the last human is dead. Can you say the same about your people?" Nobody answered. The admirals looked at each other. They saw the same thing in each other's eyes: defeat. 1 hour later, Admiral Zorath stood before James Chen. His proud head was lowered. His scales had turned pale grey. "The Zorath Empire surrenders," he said. Behind him, the other admirals spoke the same words. One by one, the 7 greatest empires in the galaxy fell. James Chen accepted their surrender without celebration. His face remained calm, professional. "Your empires will join the human alliance," he said. "Your weapons will be destroyed. Your fleets will be disbanded. But your people will live. Your cultures will survive. This is more mercy than you would have shown us." Admiral Nexus stepped forward. His white eyes looked at James with something new: respect. "I must ask," Nexus said, "what if we had accepted you? What if we had welcomed you to the Council?" James was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled, a real smile this time. "Then you would have had the most loyal friends in the galaxy. Humans do not forget kindness. We would have protected you, helped you, fought beside you forever." He looked at the surrendered admirals. "But you chose to threaten us, to laugh at us, to plan our destruction." His smile faded. "We do not forget that either." 6 months later, Earth shone blue and green in the darkness of space. Around it, thousands of ships patrolled peacefully. Human ships, guardian ships. Captain James Chen stood on a balcony in his home city. The sun was setting. The sky turned orange and pink. His daughter ran to him and grabbed his hand. "Daddy," she said, "are the aliens our friends now?" James picked her up and held her close. "Some of them are starting to be," he said. "It takes time." "Were you scared when you met the bad admirals?" James looked at the stars appearing in the evening sky. "Yes," he admitted, "I was scared, but I did not show it." "Why not?" "Because sometimes being brave means being scared but doing the right thing anyway." His daughter hugged him tightly. "I want to be brave like you, Daddy." "You already are, sweetheart." Across the galaxy, things were changing. The old empires were learning new ways. Smaller species, once enslaved, were now free. They looked at humans with wonder and gratitude. The galaxy had a new leader, not through cruelty, not through fear, but through strength and wisdom. And every species learned an important lesson that day. Never judge by size, never laugh at the small, never underestimate the ones who stay quiet. Because sometimes the quietest ones are the most dangerous, and humans were the quietest of all.